Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow by Roy Dale. Crickets are chirping somewhere in the garden. Most of the hummingbirds that migrate have left, and much time has passed since these fingers have danced on this crumb-infested keyboard. It's true nothing much has changed. A marking of time that recently occurred has pushed me into an age category which moves me closer to being ineligible for life insurance. Who would have thought? Still, celebrating advancing old age has some perks. Well, golly, gee whiz, break out the helmet, pump up the tires, grease the chain, as me and my new birthday e-bike are headed out to where no enhanced two-wheeler has gone before. So, watch out, pathway runners and jaywalk streakers. I'm on the road again. It's quieter than my last electric, but feels a little harder to pedal in level 2. For those of you that know nothing about e-bike mumbo-jumbo, 5 is the highest assistance attainable, great on steep hills and such, but pathetic for going fast on descents, as the motor cuts out when it reaches peak speed. A safety feature, they say. Unfortunately, one has to pedal like hell against a defiant motor to gain any appreciable increase in velocity. There are a number of euphemisms one could mutter for such a travesty. A regular bike knows no such limitations and is called God or good on downhills. All is not as it seems. The other day I discovered the rear tire on the battery-powered gosh darn speeder was flat. The usual curses were expressed. Not only does one have to move the back tire from the frame, its motor should also be disconnected. Torqued bolts holding the wheel were so tight that my rheumatic old hands hurt. In earlier days, I would have called that hammer time. There is no particular reason why riding has become one of my favorite things to do, other than at around age 3 or 4, I'd watch the older boys launch their bikes from the porch over the stairs down to the pavement below. It seemed like an exciting and fun thing to do. Unfortunately, kids' trikes are not predisposed to speed or aerodynamics, which cause a rather twisted, entangled, blood-soaked mess on the concrete path at the bottom of the steps. Still, there was a moment of airborne joy before the last thud. Eventually, I did learn to ride a two-wheeler and also how to do the infamous veranda jump. Biking expanded my heretofore limited horizons. From where I live, it took only a short time to get to Chinatown, where exotic aromas hung in the air from shops and vendors with sidewalk carts who hawked their wares in a kind of attention-getting, muddled English, all of which added to the hustle and bustle of people doing what they could to survive in a new and unknown land. But best of all, many of the kids working in those places were known to me, as we all attended the same school. At other times, a ride to what is called Little Italy with my friend Romano was on the agenda. Again, the energy felt was palpable. We encountered lots of dimly lit spaghetti, coffee, and pizza parlors. The street was lively and characterized by expressive hand gestures, boisterous talk, and laughter. Often we'd get to play bocce ball in the park with Romano's uncle and his acquaintances, who drank red wine, ate cheese, and great hunks of bread while executing marvelous shots. Life was young then, and I had many friends of varied and mixed ethnicities. For instance, Larry and his older brothers, who were from somewhere in Asia and considered the #1 ruffians of the Lower East Side, or Ronnie C. from Scotland, who had a surprisingly deep voice and was told to stand in the last row during school concerts, because according to the teacher, he was considered an out-of-tuner like me. I thought we sang great together while hidden out of sight in the back. So much for Fa Sol La Ti Do. Ronnie later started a band and became somewhat famous. And there was Warner from Germany, who I thought had the best and fanciest skates in the world, because they didn't fall off while playing roller hockey, unlike the rest of us who had to attach them to questionable footwear with some kind of clamp and key. As part of a motley crew of like-minded young hooligans, which was similar in makeup to a mini United Nations, we hunted pigeons and hopped freight trains down on the flats, went swimming at Percy Norman Pool up on 33rd and something, where relieving the vending machine of chicken soup with weighted slugs was a common occurrence. At other times, we'd sneak into the False Creek Velodrome and ride our bikes round and round to near exhaustion. There is much left untold due to promises made in the mad days of youth. Perhaps then one should stick to stuff that is verifiable. Like the other day, I read an article about telomeres, which are structures made from DNA sequences found at the end of chromosomes. Lengthened telomeres are supposed to be a sign of increased longevity and can be helped by a healthy diet and exercise. Riding a bike is considered to be a good way to do that. Seeing as my intentions are to live beyond what is considered normal, and at present I am only closing in on 80, expect to see me cycling my creaky bones around for many decades to come. So that being said, another article drew my attention, suggesting that at a certain juncture in time one should stop riding, something to do with balance, reflexes, and vision. As the words in the essay were contrary to my goals of pedaling into an extended, active, and happy old age, it became fodder for the fire burning in the hearth, and was summarily dispatched there, culminating in a short burst of cleansing flames.